Hi everyone, my name is Anika Verma and I'm the Chief Communications Officer at the Steamboat. For those of you who don't know, we interview various students who have showcased an interest in STEAM and our leadership through exceptional means. And I'm pleased to announce our next student, Sampurn. So can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Sampurn. I'm a 15-year-old 10th grade student from Jharkhand, India. I'm a passionate music learner, researcher, and an aspiring psychology student.
It's really nice to meet you today. So I think you definitely gave us a really nice bio to get us started. So if you would like, could you start with telling us a little bit about your research journey and what exactly you researched?
Okay, so there's this government organization named National Children's Science Congress. It is held every year, and students divide into groups of two, and then they select their specific subtopic. You get a topic from the government. My was Know Your Environment. So I had my best friend as my companion, and we had this topic, Menace of Landfills on the banks of River Mayurakshi, and the problems with the streams connecting it.
That sounds like a very interesting research
Yes.
project. So, can you tell us a little bit about, you know, one, how did you kind of get started on your research? Like, what steps did you take, and what kind of things did you do to go about your research?
Okay, so first, let me explain the research project. So there's this perennial river near my house, Mayurakshi. It is one of the major tributaries of the river Damodar of Jharkhand. So the thing was, there was a landfill situated on the banks of river Mayurakshi. So, and technically, technically, landfills or the banks of river is not a good thing to be implemented, but still it was there, and the municipal commissioners were not doing anything about it. So what happened was they did the they did not fill the landfills. So landfills are you're supposed to make a park above the landfill or something like that. But when it was the rainy season, the river flooded, and there was no there was no way to prevent the garbage from going into the river. So the garbage all went along the flow of the water. And after the rainy season, there was no such thing as a landfill. It was just a ruin. And, and the garbage went with the flow of the water and it just polluted everything. And so that's where I started my project. So one of the first steps I took was taking surveys. I went into the locality where the river had its impact the most. I took something like 200 surveys, and then I went to pharmacies, knowing that what kinds of diseases it spreads. And then we had a whole data analysis of what kind of waterborne diseases, how many people are getting affected in it, what age group, and so on.
That sounds like a very exciting, detailed plan of how you did it, and I think it's really, really helpful for me and the listeners that will watch this because it's like good to know how you can look at a problem in your community and kind of like take steps to at least analyze and understand it better and then maybe implement
Yes.
changes for the future. So, talking about the future, how do you plan to use this research or how have you already used this research?
So we have a device in mind. So the device is it's a pipe, and when you put it underwater through the engine, it releases bubbles, forces of bubbles. So the thing is, from the bottom, when the bubble go up, the size of the bubble increases, and it won't let the garbage get further from it. Like, you understand me?
No,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
yes. So, yes. So that's the thing. And then later, when the garbage is accumulated here, you can collect it. And the thing is, marine life won't be affected by it because, fishes can apply enough force to get through it.
That makes sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So, what would you say was like the biggest achievement that you felt that you made during the research project?
Okay. So my project was promoted to the first level of the state level, but unfortunately we couldn't make it to the second level because of the competition. So yes, state
That's
level was my biggest achievement.
Yes, I think that's definitely a very really big deal. Even
Yes.
competing first of all is a big deal because many people don't
Yeah.
compete. So taking even that first step and getting to states is a pretty really big deal. So And now you mentioned that you had future plans in other STEM fields. So what could you just like expand on what your future plans are and what kind of fields you would like to pursue?
Mhm. Yes, so what kinds of fields I like to pursue? I like to pursue human research, human resources,
Hmm.
psychology, and poverty. Because the thing is, I love poverty because it just gets to the darkest side of what they don't show. Yes. And the second thing is we talked about the municipal commissioner about that, but unfortunately they didn't do anything. So if I get another chance, I surely make that the higher authorities know about it as well.
Yes, I think having big goals in mind is really good because someone has to advocate for the people that can't advocate for themselves.
Yes.
So my next question is a little bit like about yourself and not just your research project. So
Okay.
what would you say sparked your interest into researching in the STEM field overall?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, I don't want knowledge in just one single field or a particular field. I want diverse knowledge. So research gives you knowledge not about this particular field, but everything related to that. So that's what got me into research.
All right. I forgot to ask this question earlier, but what would you say was your biggest challenge in the research process?
Okay, so like roaming about the streets of my locality and then asking for surveys. People were not cooperative enough. Some were not educated enough, and they were probably scared to sign on the papers. They were probably scared to give out their numbers. We asked for phone numbers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the most shocking thing was the housewife. When we went to some housewives to ask it, basically to some rural area or something, they would not even talk to us. They call their husbands and then they'll ask them to fill it up for us. Yes,
Yeah.
this was the biggest.
I can
Yes,
definitely see that that happens when you it's like people are always scared and not sure if they want to
yes.
participate in something. So how did you overcome this obstacle? Like or maybe if you didn't completely overcome it, what kind of like methods did you use to better collect answers to the survey?
Okay. So the first thing we did was it was not science related, but it was being humble. We kept our patients and then we went on talking to them. We explained them the whole thing, and then after a while, they thought it as beneficial thing, and indirectly it will benefit them only.
Yeah.
So yes, being humble and spreading knowledge would be the best thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's just, sit down, explain it to them and really just like be
Yes,
nice about it, that be understanding about.
yes.
So definitely agree with that. So what classes are you currently taking in school that, help you with STEM and research or any of the fields really?
Okay, so I'm an ICSE board. So here in my board as well, you don't get to choose subjects. There are 14 mandatory subjects, and then like science, and we have divided science and we have divided science and social sciences differently. So it adds up to physics, chemistry, biology, history, civics, and geography, 100 marks each. So 14 mandatory subjects, and then we have subjects like commerce and physical education as optional. So we have 16 subjects.
All right, that sounds, I guess it's just different
And
systems.
yes,
Yeah.
and I'm taking 15 of them. I'm not taking commerce right now.
All right, all right. And you also mentioned that you have an interest in psychology. So what kind of things are you
Yes.
doing to, pursue that interest?
So I'm thinking to pursue my psychology abroad in forensic and criminal psychology. It's just bringing the darkest side of the world in front of people.
Mhm.
So I love doing that. I love doing that. So yes, I'll probably go with forensic and criminal.
So while you do have the floor, and also we're here with like viewers that are definitely out of the country from India, is there anything that you would like to share with us specifically about your interests that you would like viewers to know about? Because I think if you definitely want to reach out, this is a great place to. So if you want to tell us about anything, that'd be great.
Okay, yes, for sure. So in India, like abroad, I guess you can do research but while being in high school or something. And coming from a small city in India, I don't get that much exposure to everything here. And you have to work really hard to get there. And even I had my teachers saying that you should focus only on academics right now. This is not the right time to do so and so and so on. So yes, this really needs to be changed, and more emphasis should be given to extracurriculars as well. And being here in India, this doesn't go very well. Academics and extracurriculars don't go very well hand in hand. So this needs to be changed. And I really look forward to internships like content creation, content writing, and research as well. So yes, I'll probably, if there's any chance to do so, I won't miss it for sure.
Yes, I definitely see that there's a rise. Even at our TSB, we have a lot of people that are from India and other countries in Asia. So we have a new rise of people coming, and this is, I think, because of COVID, people have been exposed to technology and now are able to work.
Yes.
And I know there are people in even in my team that work from India, and amazing
Okay.
contributions that they've made. And I think definitely being in a small city versus a larger city definitely changes things. Like a lot of the people that do
Yes.
are part of them, they are from larger cities in like northern India,
Yes.
kind of. So they have more access to technology and the resources, and they're on Instagram and able to keep up with different organizations that post about it. But I think there's a new world of opening opportunities for youth to get involved internationally. So I'd say definitely I would recommend highly. I personally really vouch for, more student
Yes.
involvement across globes, so I can definitely agree with that. All right, so my next question is, who are your inspirations in your day-to-day life and why?
Okay. So first, my inspirations will be my parents. So when they married, we did not have enough financial stability, and they get through it. They had my elder brother, they had me, but it didn't feel like we were, in loss or something. We were always happy. So yes, and the thing which held in it was always being grateful for what we have. So yes, first inspiration would be them, and second thing, my other inspiration is evil things. It won't sound nice, but yes, criminal forensics and poverty, because it just brings the darkest side, which needs to be improved.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
ultimately, yes, these will be my inspirations.
Yeah, I think definitely we can learn a lot from, actually seeing the negative side. If we only look at the
Yes,
happy side, the sunshiny side with the glitter, then we actually don't know the problems that are happening and we ignore the things that
yes,
people might be facing. So I can definitely understand what you're kind of getting at.
yes,
My next question is, as a student, what issues do you see in the STEM field or research field? I know you already mentioned about, just the inequity
yes.
overall, but any other issues specifically within the STEM fields that you notice?
Okay, yes. So, teachers here or everyone here is not basically will follow up the practical rules. They'll, just mug up what's written in a book, follow the theory pattern, won't go into practice. And I am forced to do it as well.
Yeah.
So, and especially in STEM, you need to have practical knowledge to achieve something. So that's what the issue I face, and I'm currently even facing right now.
Yeah, I think that is definitely like even here sometimes it's like when we do a lab in science class, it's so much better than,
Yes.
just looking at a
Yes.
slideshow or taking notes on a piece of paper from a lecture. You definitely
Yes.
learn a lot more by doing something hands-on and it's way more exciting. So I can
Yes.
completely agree with that. This is next question is, what latest innovation or achievement in the STEM field has caught your attention or interest and why?
Okay, so it's not a latest invention, but you know, Israel has developed one of the best Air Force systems in the world. So it's called the dome-shaped Air Force system, and basically when it senses threats, it just cover it just converts into a big shield into the air, and it won't let any of the missiles get in. And when you look at it, it's so nice. It's such a massive project, and it gives you a sense of, enthusiasm.
Yeah, that the world is moving towards some different place and it's gonna look
Yes.
different in the future. Going off this question, this is something we've asked a lot of the people that we've interviewed. So, with artificial intelligence, increasing and rapidly coming into use, what is your view on AI and machine learning, and how do you see it playing out in the future?
Okay. So AI is good, but AI should not be intelligent more than us. AI should do the things which we tell him to do, and more of it, I feel like we should do things ourselves rather than bending over AI for our daily uses. AI should be just limited to STEM and research if it is needed so. So yes, and I see in the future that AI will also impact jobs.
Mhm.
Many people won't get jobs due to AI. So yes, it's better that we limit AI to just what's the most needed thing.
Yes, I've definitely heard similar things across people. They think it's a good use, but to a limit. We have to have a limit on where
Yes.
we're using it. I don't know about in your schools or not, but across the globe, it's been like a crazy thing that kids are using AI and ChatGPT all in their
Okay.
schoolwork.
No. The best thing about my school is they don't allow electronic devices.
Okay, yes, then that changes a lot of.
Yes. So
Yes.
yes.
Yes, that definitely changes a lot of things. When technology is accessible, students can, go on their phones or laptops and
Yes.
ChatGPT up their work. So this is something we've had a lot of discussions about whether we think using that is okay for school or not. That I guess that won't kind of apply to your situation. So my next question are there any other like outside of school things or even during school extracurriculars or hobbies that you have?
Okay. Yes. So I have a bachelor's degree in my music, Indian classical music. I love playing badminton,
That's
and also I love having pets. I love animals.
that's really really exciting. I think amazing sports. You have to. It's just something to cool you down. And pets, we all love pets. They're really amazing. So I can definitely agree. So my next question is just going back to your research. If you had to give anybody like tips or suggestions, anybody that's like looking to do research, what kind of tip or suggestion would you give them?
Okay, so the research is something that comes from within, which you have yourself experienced, which you think it is bad, and don't just go where the whole crowd is going towards something like something today, like in this generation, the trend is computer science and technologies, and we are here talking about STEM, so many people won't even care to look at us. So it's something like do something which comes from within. Don't just go with the crowd.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like don't follow the Instagram trend that's happening because
yes.
it's going to wash out quicker than you think and maybe it won't leave the long-term impact. Thank you. So another
Yes.
question I have is what do you think is like the biggest skill that you gained from doing your research?
So biggest skill I gained was, while doing surveys, I improved a lot of my public speaking skills.
Hmm.
I could talk to strangers very nicely. I did not stutter I did not get nervous. And also while in the state levels, I could talk to officials very fluently. There was no need to practice as such. Even, even while presenting my speech, while presenting my speech, I did not have anything written or something like that. I
Hmm.
just went and told what was on my head.
Yeah, I think after you practice so many times, you kind of it's in your
Yes,
heart. It's in your heart and you know what you want
yes.
to say. If would you do this kind of research whatever like competition this was again?
What?
Would
I,
you
I did not get your question.
like you mentioned that this is like a competition where kids like did their research. Would you do this research competition again?
Okay, yes, of course. And I think I'll take the same topic again.
And that like allows
Yes,
you to go in more detail and learn more even.
yes.
Now that you do mention that you would take this topic maybe potentially again if you had the opportunity, what would you more like to go into depth about?
So first of all, I tracked this research was limited only to my locality, not even my city, only my locality and wherever the river went near my house.
Mhm.
But I take this project further to the city as well as to the state because this river goes into the Ganga and as well as the Bay of Bengal.
Uh-huh.
So yes, I'll I'll also push my research towards more of Eastern India
Uh-huh.
so I can get more of results.
All right. Thank you so much for telling us a lot about your research. It's really helpful to know how people like research, what their journey is like, because sometimes it's scary to start researching something when you don't know what to expect. So it's really great to be able to hear about your experiences. So I know we're kind of wrapping up to our interview. So can you tell us any last thing you want to share about, the research that you've done? Anything overall, any kind of like comments you want to leave for our audience?
Yes, so as I mentioned here in my place, academics and extracurriculars don't go hand in hand. So best thing is, you need to have you need to have a balanced life and also don't care what others say. You do you if you know that you're doing something right, then you should definitely do it and also develop a good conscience so that you have a nice idea of if it's right or if it's wrong. And also don't be scared of talking to people, develop your public speaking skills,
Mhm.
write nicely so others get influenced by it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think it's leave your mark and encourage others. I think that can kind of sum up what you're overall saying. So really, really like inspiring words. So if you don't have anything else to share about yourself, then am I okay to, just I would love to thank you for joining us.
yes.
All right. So
Thank you too.
yeah, I want to thank Sampurn for joining us this week on our Student Series interview project. And if you're interested in getting interviewed by our team, be sure to check out the form shared in our description. We're always looking for interested students, and we interview anyone between the ages of 14 and 22, but we'll always make exceptions for graduate students who are doing amazing work. We hope to see you back here again on Monday for our next installment. Thank you.